Okay, dear students, welcome back to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir. A very good evening to all of you. So this is the third session on the topic of light, particularly reflection at plane surface. I hope students you understood the previous session, that is definition, in which we have studied about the definitions of real object, virtual object, real image and virtual image. I hope students you understood. If you are not understood, hear that lecture again and again. Those, as I told in the previous session also, those definitions are very important. I hope you understood. That many times I am telling. Unless you understand those definitions very thoroughly, you cannot solve problems in the optics chapter. So that is what the importance of the previous session. So now we'll continue with the next session, that is how to find out the image of a point object and extended object for a plane mirror. What are the properties of the image formed by plane mirror, and then what are the different models of problems in the plane mirror, and some important points regarding law of reflection at plane mirror. So we'll continue. In the previous session, we have stopped at here, where reflection, how to find out the image of a object, whether it is point object or whether it is an extended object. Okay. So now in the previous session also I explained, but once again I am explaining. So how to find out the image of an object. Okay. Whenever we are asked to find out the image, whenever we are asked to find out the image of an object, we should always draw two rays. We should always draw two incident rays from the object and then draw the reflected rays. And out of these two incident rays, one of them must be drawn normal to the mirror, normal to mirror, normal to mirror. That is the condition. So such that the formation of image is very easy. Okay. So the second ray can be any ray. The second ray can be any ray. Like I gave you the example in the previous session. Suppose let us say this is a mirror. Now here there is a source, okay, bulb or tube light or anything, okay, candle. So from which let us draw two incident rays. These are called as two incident rays. One ray I took normal to the mirror. Another ray I am taking at some angle. Okay. Okay. Now if you draw the reflected rays, okay, so the reflected ray for it will be like this. The reflected ray for it will be like this. Why it is like this? Because here the angle of incidence is 0. So therefore angle of reflection is also 0. And here according to law of reflection, if I is the angle of incidence and R will be the angle of reflection. If I is, suppose let us say 30 degrees, angle of reflection also will be 30 degrees. Okay. Now when you extend these two rays back, they'll intersect at one point. That point is called as image. That point is called as image. As I told in the previous session, this point is lying on the reflected rays. This point is lying on the reflected rays, where when you extend back these reflected rays, they meet at this point. Okay, they meet at this point, and therefore this is called as virtual image. They are not actually meeting. Okay, according to the definition of virtual image we have discussed, it is a point from which the reflected rays appear to diverge. The reflected rays appear to diverge. Appear means virtual. Reflected rays means image. So therefore it's a virtual image. That is how we should draw the image. We should locate the image of the object. This is the object and this is the image. Okay. So what is the distance of the image? Suppose let's say this distance is 5 centimeters. Then this distance is also 5 centimeters. Okay. And of course size and all we cannot tell because it is a point object. Okay. So that's why we will see next one, that's called as extended object. Okay. So now suppose if the object height is some like this. Suppose let us say this is the object which is, suppose let us say 2 centimeters. Object height is 2 centimeters. Now this object is placed in front of a plane mirror. This is a plane mirror. Now how to find out the image of this, how to locate or how to find out the properties of the image of this extended object. So how to locate the image, students? Same procedure. Whatever we have adopted for point object, here also same thing. So now locate, suppose let us take the tip of this object. Let us say this is the top point. Okay. Now from here we should draw two rays. One ray normal to the mirror, another ray at some angle. Now what will happen? This ray when it is incident on the mirror, it will reflect back in the same direction, and when this ray is incident on the mirror, it will reflect back, it will reflect according to the law of reflection. Okay, so now these two are called as the reflected rays. These two rays are called as reflected rays. Now when you extend them back, these rays will meet at one point, that is called as at this point. Okay, so this point you will get, this point is nothing but called as the image of this point, t dash. Okay, in the same way we can also find out the image of the other points of this object. Instead of that, we can just draw a line perpendicular to it, perpendicular to this reference line. Okay, then you will get the image of this object directly. We will get the image of this object directly. Okay, so that's how we should draw the we should locate the image of this object. Here also you can see, students, here there is a bottle whose image has to be obtained or located. Now what we'll do is we'll identify 2 points. Let us say this is the top point, this is, let us say, bottom point. Okay, now first locate the image of this top point, because we know already the procedure for how to find out the location of a point object. This is a point object whose image has to be located. So for what we'll do, we'll take 2 rays. Here you can see on the screen there are 2 rays. Okay, here you can see, students, this is the top point. So I am identifying one point whose image I locate first. So what I'll do, first I'll take 2 rays like this. Of course here they have taken 2 rays, any rays. Previously I told that one of the ray must be normal, but that is just a fundamental, just to start with. But afterwards you can take any 2 rays. Now these 2 rays will have their reflected rays like this. Now when you extend those reflected rays, they'll meet at one point, that is the image of point t dash. That is the image of point t dash. Okay. Now in the same way, just like we have located the image of this point t, we can also locate the image of this bottommost point b. Okay, in this, according to the same procedure. What is that procedure? Identify or draw 2 rays. Draw 2 rays from that point, any 2 rays. Okay, in such a way that the reflected rays will be according to the law of reflection. Now when you extend these 2 rays, they'll meet at one point. That point will be the image of this point b dash. That point will be the image of this point b dash. So that means if you want to locate the image of this entire extended object, we can take 2 points, one topmost point and one bottommost point, and follow the procedure whatever we have done for locating the image of a point object, and then locate the images of those 2 points t dash and b dash. Now we can just draw a line like this, because for the remaining points, whatever the image points will lie between these 2 points only. So we don't have to draw the image, we don't have to locate the image of in between points. We just have to identify topmost point and bottommost point, and then draw the image points of those 2 points, topmost point and bottommost point, and then you just draw one line. Okay, and then it will be the image of this extended object. Okay, so I hope, students, how to draw the image of the extended object. Okay, so now let us see, after locating the image of this extended object, what are the properties of the image of a plane mirror. What are the properties of the extended object formed in the plane mirror. Okay, so these are the properties of an extended object. Okay, properties of image of an extended object. So first of all, what is the first property, students? It is an erect image. What is meant by erect and what is meant by inverted means, whenever we talk about properties of image, there are certain properties, like suppose let us say here, whenever we discuss about properties of image, okay, there are many things. First one is called as type of image, whether it is real or whether it is virtual. I have already told you how to tell whether an image is real or whether an image is virtual. Okay, we can identify a real image according to its convergence or divergence of reflected rays. Whether the image is real or virtual, the image is always defined in terms of reflected rays. But the only difference is whether the reflected rays are actually converging or actually diverging, or appearing to converge or appearing to diverge. So according to the definition, we have to see whether the image is real or virtual. Okay. So now, so there are two types of images. One is called as real and one is called as virtual. Similarly, according to size, there are three things. One is enlarged size, one is reduced size, another one is same size. And similarly, according to the attitude, whether it is upright or inverted or laterally inverted. Okay, this generally we don't use. Okay, whether it is upright or whether it is inverted. Upright means on the same side. Inverted means reversed. Okay, or inverted, vertically inverted. Okay. So now here we can see first one, it is called what is the property of the image formed by an extended object. First one is it is an erect image. Erect image means what? Just like here we can see one example. Here there is an object. This is an object. Its image is here. Okay. So it's called as on the same side. Here just like above the x-axis, the image is also above the x-axis. It is not forming like this. If it is forming like this, then we can say it is inverted image. But here it is not forming like this. Okay. So therefore, it is called as erect image. So the first property is it is an erect image. Okay. And now, what is the second property of the image? Second property of the image is the size of the image is same as the size of the object. The size of the image is same as the size of the object. Okay. So here also you can see in the diagram that here suppose if the object size is like this, suppose let us say 10 centimeters, then here the image height and size also will be how much? 10 centimeters. Okay. That means the size remains same. Okay. Anywhere you can see, here also there is one more example where here we can see one fly. So the size of the image will be same as the object size. If the object size is small, image size is small. If the object size is large, image size is large. Okay. Here also you can see arrow. Okay. Whether it is placed at an angle, still the size remains same. Okay. So that is the second property of the image. That is, size of the image is same as the size of the object. Now what is the third property? The image distance is same as the object distance. What is meant by this, students? Image distance. That means the formation of image is same as the formation of image, where the image is formed, the distance of that image from the mirror is same as the distance of the object from the mirror. Like for example, here you can see in this diagram, here suppose let us say this object is at a distance of 100 centimeters from the mirror. Now the image distance also will be same distance, 100 centimeters only. Okay, it cannot be some 125 centimeters or like that. It is same distance. Whatever the distance of the object is from the mirror, the image distance also will be same from the mirror. So that is the third property. And here one important term is there, that is called as distance. When we say distance here, it always means perpendicular distance. It always means perpendicular distance. It is a very, very important point, students. It always means perpendicular, students. What is meant by perpendicular, students? Okay. Let us see. Suppose let us say here we have seen one arrow. Here there is an arrow. Now this point is at what distance? 2 centimeters. Now this point, if you want to draw, you cannot find the distance of this point from the mirror anywhere like this. You cannot draw like this or like this. You should always draw perpendicular distance. You should always draw a perpendicular line from the point to the mirror. That is called as perpendicular distance. So whenever we say distance, it always means perpendicular distance. This point you should always be careful, students. Perpendicular distance. Otherwise you will there will be many problems where we'll do mistakes, particularly distance in measuring the distance. We'll take some other distance and then we'll calculate and then we'll get a wrong answer. So therefore we should always keep in our mind that distance means perpendicular distance. Okay. So that is about the third property, that is called as the image distance is same as the object distance. Okay. And whenever we say distance means perpendicular distance. Okay. Now what is the next last property, that is called as the image is virtual if the object is real. The image is virtual if the object is real. Just like here this is an object. Which type of object is it? Real object. Why? Because from this object the incident rays are actually diverging. From here the incident rays are actually diverging in any direction, but particularly one direction we are taking. This is the incident ray, and then this is the reflected ray. Now when you extend this back reflected ray, you will see the image. So which image is this, students? Is it real image or virtual image? It is a virtual image. Why? Because from this point the reflected ray is getting diverged, appearing to diverge. Actually it is not diverging but appearing to diverge. So therefore this is called as virtual image. The image is virtual if the object is real, and vice versa. If the object is virtual, the image will be real, as I told in the previous session, and afterwards also after 5 to 10 minutes I will tell again one as a note important point that the plane mirror will form both images, real image as well as virtual image, which in your lower classes you will not be told. In your lower classes you will be told only that the plane mirror will form only virtual image, okay, but it is not true. And by the way, the virtual image here, one important point, students, that the virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. The virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. Just like I'll give one example where, suppose let us say, here you can see, students, that suppose let us say we are in front of plane mirror, in front of this plane mirror we placed a jar, and now we are able to see this jar in the plane mirror. So that means you can see that this distance, the distance of image is same as the distance of the object, and according to the properties just now we have studied, it is a erect image. That means same side, okay, it is not inverted, okay. And what is the second property? The distance is the object size is same as the image size is same as the object size. Suppose let us see, if the object size is some 50 centimeters, then the image size is also 50 centimeters, and image distance is same as the object distance. So all properties are being satisfied here because it is a reflection at a plane mirror, okay. And now the point which I want to make it here is this is which image, students? It is a virtual image. Why? Because it is the intersection of reflected rays which are appearing to diverge, okay. Now this virtual image, remember students, cannot be obtained on the screen, under any circumstance. That means you cannot catch the virtual image. For example, let us say you take a mirror and then you see it just like here, okay. Now in the mirror you are able to see how much distance. Suppose this distance is 5 centimeters, this distance is also 5 centimeters. Now this is virtual image. Now behind the mirror, if you go 5 centimeters back and then if you try to catch, can you catch it? Can you catch the image? No, it's not possible. So that's why a virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. Whereas opposite, a real image can be obtained on a screen. A real image can be obtained on a screen. Opposite can be obtained on screen. I hope students you understood this point. This point is very, very important. A real image can be obtained on a screen, whereas a virtual image cannot be caught on a screen because it doesn't exist. Virtual, that's what the meaning of virtual term is. Virtual means appearing to. It doesn't exist. It's an optical illusion actually. So therefore it's called as a virtual image, and which cannot be obtained on a screen, whereas real image can be obtained on the screen. Okay, so that is about the characteristics of virtual image and real image. So now let's move to the properties. So that is the last property, that the image is virtual if the object is real, and if the object is virtual the image will be real, vice versa. Okay, so now let us move to the next one. Some important points regarding this reflection at plane surface. So this is one of the very important point. Okay, every point of mirror forms a complete image of an extended object as long as the object is in front of the mirror. That means every part of the mirror is responsible for the formation of image. Okay, like I will give an example. For example, let us say this is a mirror. Okay, now suppose if you place an object here, an object AB, then what will happen, students? Obviously you can get the image in the mirror. Okay, where will be the image? Mirror, students? where will be the image of this mirror? Where will be the image of this? Where will be the image of this object? Exactly, suppose let us say the distance of this object is, suppose let us say 10 centimeters. Then exactly at 10 centimeters you will get the image. That is A dash and B dash. Okay, exactly same size. Whatever the properties we have studied, same properties are applicable here. Okay. Now suppose if I cut some portion, like this, okay. Now this is my mirror. Okay. Now this is my mirror. Now this is the only part of the mirror which is there. Okay. Now the object is here. Now students, can you answer me this question that if you cut this much portion of the mirror, will you get the image first of all? Yes or no? If it is yes, what will be the nature of the image? What will be the size of the image? Like properties. What are the properties of image? If it is yes. If it is no, why it won't form? Okay. So the answer is here, you will get the image. Yes, definitely you will get the image. Even though the mirror is being cut, which is in front of the object exactly. Okay. Still you will get the image. I'll explain how. Let us see here. Now we are given this mirror, only this much mirror only is given. Now the object is placed in front of the mirror like this. Okay. So whether we will get the image or not, that is what our point. So here point is every point of the mirror forms a complete image. Okay. That means even though the full mirror is not present, only portion of mirror is present, still you will get an image which is same as the image which we got in the previous case. In the previous case also we got same image. Okay. So here also if the object is AB, the image will be A dash and B dash. Because why? Because originally when the full mirror is present, what is happening is from this point there are many rays which are falling on the mirror. And for each incident ray there will be reflected ray, and when you extend each reflected ray, then what will happen is you will get this image. Okay, you will get this image. Okay. Now the only difference is between this diagram and this diagram is only this much portion is removed. But still this much portion is being there still like this. So that means what is happening? Whatever the rays that are falling on that portion of the mirror will form the image. Only thing is you will not get the image for this part of the mirror. So therefore what will happen is you will get the full image. Like for example, here one ray will fall and then it will get reflected, and another ray will fall and then it will get reflected, and then when you extend these two rays you will get the image point. Okay. And similarly for the other points. So just we'll draw a line here. So therefore you will get the image. But what is the difference between this image and this image is that the intensity of this image is less than the intensity of the previous image. The intensity is less here. Whereas the intensity will be more. Here the intensity will be more. I hope students you understood. Why? Because why the intensity is more? Because the other rays, because of this presence of this mirror, the rays are falling, and due to which there are reflected rays, and when you extend these reflected rays, you are getting the image. So therefore the intensity of this image will be strong. Whereas here that much portion of the mirror is not present here. So therefore only small portion of the mirror is there, and on that small portion of the mirror, whatever the incident rays are falling, for those incident rays there will be reflected rays, and when you extend back of those reflected rays, you will get an image, but the intensity will be less, because there are much rays which are falling on the small portion of the mirror. So this is very, very important, students. What is the point here? That as long as even a small portion of mirror is present, and if the object is placed in front of the mirror, you will get an image. But the only difference is that the intensity of the image will be very less. Okay. So this is also very important point, regarding when we come to solve problems, this point comes matters a lot. Okay. Now next move to the next note. This is one important note. Now let us move to the next important note. That is, if a mirror is rotated by an angle of 45 degrees, the image of vertical object becomes horizontal and vice versa. Okay. So let us see here. Here also let us go with the example. For example, let us say this is a mirror, and let us say the vertical object. Okay. Now let us say we placed a vertical object like this. We have placed one vertical object AB, and I hope students you know how to locate the image. So whatever is the distance of this object, same distance you will get here, and same size. So this is, let us say, A dash, B dash. If this is 1 centimeter, then this is also 1 centimeter. If this is 10 centimeters, then this is also 10 centimeters. Erect image only you will get. This side is arrow is upwards, here also arrow is upwards. Okay. Now students, keeping the object like this, suppose here if the mirror is rotated by an angle of 45 degrees. If the mirror is rotated by an angle of 45 degrees. Like for example, if I rotate the mirror by an angle of 45 degrees like this. Suppose let's say if I rotate the mirror by an angle of 45 degrees, I rotated. Now tell me students, what will be the image formation? Will the image still be formed here? Will the image still be formed like this only, or will it differ? Okay. So definitely here it will differ, because now here the perpendicular distance from the object to the mirror is changed. So therefore the image also will get changed. Okay. So now let us see how to get the image at this point. Okay. That means when the mirror is rotated by an angle of exactly 45 degrees. Okay. So now let us take same thing. Okay. Suppose this is the actual position of the mirror originally, but now we shifted it to like this. We shifted by an angle of how much, students? By an angle of 45 degrees. Okay. But now the horizontal line is like this. The object is still placed here only. That is AB. Okay. The object is still placed like this at a distance. This is the object. Same color I am using. Object AB of 1 centimeter. Okay. So previously it is at 10 centimeters. Now also it is at 10 centimeters. Okay. Now here one important point is that whether the image will get the position of the image will change or not. Now let us see. Okay. Now here the image is located here. The image is the mirror is located here. The mirror is located at an angle of 45 degrees with respect to vertical. Okay. So now students, what we have to do here is here we have to find out the image, okay, of this object, where we have to, as the property of the image, what is the property of the image? One of the properties of the image is the image distance is same as the object distance. Okay. Now right now object is at what distance? Is it 10 centimeters just like previous example? No, it is not like that. It is not like that. The example is the distance is different. What is the distance means? Here you have to measure perpendicular distance. Here you have to measure perpendicular distance. Suppose let's say this distance is some 12 centimeters. Then again here you have to go to 12 centimeters. That much distance only you have to go back. This is the perpendicular distance. So when you go back like this, okay. So here if this is 12 centimeters, then this is also 12 centimeters. In the same way here also from this point A, we should draw one perpendicular like this. We should draw one perpendicular like this. And then when you extend it back like this, you will get, suppose this distance is 5 centimeters, then this distance also will be 5 centimeters. Okay. Then this distance also will be 5 centimeters. Okay. Actually exactly we have to draw. This is not exact, this one. 5 centimeters only we should draw. Actually, if you draw with exact distance, I'll draw it with, see here, suppose let us say we draw like this. This is the perpendicular. Okay. Now what will happen is when you extend this distance like this, this is, suppose let us say 12 centimeters, then this is also 12 centimeters. Okay. And then if you draw a perpendicular distance like this, okay. So when you draw like this, this is the image of object AB, which is nothing but A dash and B dash. Okay. So whenever a mirror is rotated by an angle of 45 degrees, the image of vertical object, becomes horizontal. The image of vertical object becomes horizontal, and vice versa. If the object is placed horizontal and if the mirror is rotated by an angle of 45 degrees, then the image will become vertical. And remember students, this is applicable only if the mirror is rotated by an angle of 45 degrees. Okay. If the mirror is rotated by an angle other than 45 degrees, then the this property is not valid. That means the vertical object will not have horizontal image. Okay. So therefore only if the mirror is rotated by an angle of 45 degrees, this will happen. So now let's move to the next important point, that a plane mirror will change left hand coordinate system into right hand coordinate system. Okay. Here students, you can see clearly that here is a plane mirror. Now here we have placed our left hand system here. Suppose let us say this is the left hand. Okay. So here you can see thumb is toward this side, forefinger is toward this side, and then this is the middle finger. Now when you place left hand in front of the mirror, in the image you can see, inside the mirror you can see that this thumb will get inverted. That means thumb will be like this, and then index finger will be remaining upwards only, and then this middle finger will be like this only. So that means when you place a left hand, it appears to be like a right hand. Only the component which is perpendicular to the mirror, will get reversed. Okay, Okay. So therefore, whenever we place a left hand, that means left hand will become right hand. That means left hand coordinate system will convert into right hand coordinate system. In the same way, suppose let's say if you place a letter P, then what will happen is it will get reversed. Like this. That's why students, whenever you see particularly on the ambulance, okay, it will be written in the opposite direction, inverted. This is called lateral inversion. The letters will be lateral inversion. The letters on the ambulance will be written laterally inverted, so that suppose let us say if you are going in a car and the ambulance is coming behind you, so the name on the ambulance is written laterally inverted, and then when you see that name in your mirror, in your car mirror, then you will see exactly it as ambulance, because it gets laterally inverted. Okay. Suppose if it is written normal ambulance on the mirror, on the ambulance car, on the ambulance van, and then when you see that word ambulance in your car mirror, you will see inverted, laterally inverted. So therefore, in order to make it clearly that ambulance is coming, so therefore they write laterally inverted, means they will make it laterally inverted on the ambulance van, the name of the ambulance. Okay. So this is the reason, students, that the letters will get laterally inverted. So this is one of the important point. Now coming to the next point, that plane mirror forms both real and virtual image depending on the object. As I have told that this is one of the important point, that the plane mirror can form both real image as well as virtual image. Okay. And when it will form real image and virtual image, depending on the object. Okay. Suppose if the object is virtual, it will form real image. If the object is real, it will form virtual image. For example, suppose let us say here you can see clearly that this is a plane mirror, and here these are the incident rays which are falling on the mirror, and now when you extend these rays, they are meeting at this point, so therefore this is called as virtual object. And now this is a virtual object for the plane mirror. Okay. So which type of image it will form? real image. Why? Because when this incident ray falls on the mirror, it will get reflected like this, it will get reflected like this, and these are called as reflected rays, and this point is called as the point of intersection of incident reflected rays which are actually getting converged. So therefore this is called as real image. This is called as real image. So here you will get for a virtual object you will get real image. For a virtual object you will get real image. So when do you get virtual image? When do you get virtual image? When you place a real object in front of it, and real object means the incident rays will actually diverge, and then when they get diverged, and then afterwards when they are incident on the plane mirror, they will get reflected, and then when you extend them back, they will meet at one point. That point is called as virtual image. Why it is called as virtual image, students? Because from this point the reflected rays appear to diverge. The reflected rays appear to diverge. So here you will get virtual image. Virtual image. So for a real object you will get virtual image. For a virtual object you will get a real image. So this is very important point. So now coming to the next point, this is also one important point. The sum of time shown by a clock and by its image is always 12. Is always 12. 12 means 12 hours, and each hour has 60 minutes. You should see it as like that. For example, if a clock shows time as, suppose if the clock shows time as 8:40, then what is the mirror image it will show? Okay, what is the mirror image it will show? What is the mirror image it will show? Okay, so if the clock shows 8:40, then it will show the, and when you see that clock in a mirror, and in the image of the mirror, the image of the mirror will show as 12 minus 8:40. 12 minus 8:40, that is equal to how much, students? 320. Okay, or otherwise here you can see in the picture that suppose this is the clock, actual clock. Okay, now in this clock we can see what is the time, students. Here this is exactly 3 o'clock. This is exactly 3 o'clock. Now when you see the image of this clock, when you see the image of this clock, what is the time showing, students? It's a 9 o'clock. It's a 9 o'clock. And here time is how much, students? 3 o'clock. So how to find out this 9 o'clock? Just subtract 12 minus 3. So that is equal to how much? 9 o'clock. So that's how we should find out the image time, or the time in what you call mirror image time. Okay. So this is one important point, and in some problems they will be asking. Okay. And then so those are the important points regarding the plane mirror. So now let us now move to the actual problems, actual models of problems in the plane mirror. Until now whatever we have discussed, that is just a basic introduction. Okay, actually we have not started our topic actually. Okay, so the actual topic starts from here, that is plane mirrors, where in this plane mirror first we will study about deviation. Okay, then rotation of mirror, number of images between two inclined mirrors, field of view, and velocity of image. So out of which first one is called as deviation of deviation. Okay, now let us see the deviation. So now first one is the deviation. Okay, this is a very important topic, deviation. Okay, now what is meant by deviation? Okay, now let us see. Suppose let us say we have a plane mirror like this. This is a plane mirror. Okay, and suppose let us say this is the incident ray. Suppose let us say this is the incident ray. Now what will happen? According to the law of reflection, there will be reflected ray like this, and we know the normal will be, we know this is called as the normal. This is called as the normal, and we should always measure the angles as the angle of incidence. Suppose if you want angle of incidence, it is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. It is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. And what is the angle of reflection? It is the angle between the reflected ray and the normal. Okay. So now here, students, what is meant by deviation means, okay. So deviation means, for example, this incident ray if mirror is not there, suppose let us say if this mirror is not there, this incident ray would go directly like this. This incident ray would go directly like this. If suppose let us say if this mirror is not there, this incident ray will go directly like this only. Okay, but because we placed the plane mirror here, what happened? This incident ray, when it falls on the mirror, it gets reflected like this. It gets reflected like this. So this ray which is supposed to go like this got deviated like this. That means it got deviated like this. So this angle is called as angle of deviation. This angle is called as angle of deviation. Why? Because this ray which is supposed to go in this direction in the absence of mirror got deviated like this because of the placing of mirror. So therefore this angle is called as angle of deviation, represented by del. Okay. Now how much is this angle of deviation? Let us calculate this. Now we know this is a straight line where this total angle is how much, students? 180. Okay. Now out of this total angle 180, this is nothing but angle of incidence, this is nothing but angle of reflection, and which are both equal according to law of reflection. Angle I is equal to angle R. Okay. So now what we can write from here? Angle I plus angle R plus angle del is equal to angle I plus angle R plus angle of deviation should be equal to how much, students? 180 degrees. Now we know these two are nothing but same according to law of reflection. Okay. So therefore I can write it as 2 times of angle of I plus 2 times of angle of deviation is equal to 180 degrees. Or in simple we can write as angle of deviation is equal to 180 minus 2I. 180 minus 2I, where I is nothing but called as angle of incidence. And in which direction here, students? This can be either clockwise or anti-clockwise. This is called anti-clockwise, this is called as clockwise. Okay. Here it is anti-clockwise. Okay. But in some problems it can be clockwise also. Okay. So I hope, students, you understood what is meant by angle of deviation. Angle of deviation is nothing but the angle by which the reflected ray gets deviated. That is called as angle of deviation. The angle by which the reflected ray gets deviated, by which reflected ray gets deviated. That is called as angle of deviation. Now let us see one simple example, students, here. Suppose let us say there is a plane mirror, and let us say angle of incidence is 30 degrees. Okay. Now they will ask us what is angle of deviation? What is angle of deviation? So what is the answer, students, here? Angle of deviation is nothing but 180 minus 2 times of I, that is equal to 180 minus 2 times of 30, that is equal to 180 minus 60, that is equal to 120 degrees. In which direction, students? After this ray gets incident here, it will get reflected like this, and this ray is supposed to go like this. This ray is supposed to go like this, but got deviated like this. So that means in anti-clockwise direction. So therefore answer is 120 degrees anti-clockwise. I hope, students, you understand how to calculate the angle of deviation. This is very, very important. Okay. And next one is the angle of next topic is rotation of mirror. Next topic is rotation of mirror. Okay. Now let us see, students, suppose let us say this is a mirror. And this is the normal. Okay. Now suppose if the angle of, suppose let us say if the incident ray is incident at here at some angle I. Okay. Now normally what will be the reflected ray? It will get reflected with the same angle of reflection. Okay. Now here our point is in case of rotation of mirror, keeping the incident ray fixed. Keeping the incident ray fixed means I am keeping this incident ray here only. Okay. I am keeping the incident ray here only. But suppose if I rotate the mirror, like this. Suppose if they rotate the mirror like this. Okay. suppose if I rotate the mirror like this, okay, suppose if I rotate the mirror like this, or we can say, suppose if I rotate like this, suppose if I rotate like this by an angle of some theta, by an angle of theta. Now what will happen to the reflected ray? That is the concept here. Okay, what will happen to the reflected ray? Will the reflected ray also rotate? If it rotates, what is the angle by which it will rotate? Okay, so definitely it will rotate. The reflected ray rotates by an angle of 2 theta. The reflected ray rotates by an angle of 2 theta. Now let us see how this reflected ray gets rotated by an angle of 2 theta. Okay. Now students, let us see here. Now as the mirror is rotated, its normal also will get rotated. How much angle? How much angle we have rotated this mirror? By an angle of theta. So from the previous normal also, this new normal will get rotated by an angle of theta. Now this is called as new normal. This is called as new normal. Okay, with respect to the new mirror position. Okay. Now what is the angle of incidence with the new position of mirror, students? What is the angle of incidence? Angle of incidence is measured from the incident ray to the normal. Now this is the incident ray and this is the normal. So what is the angle of incidence now? This is the angle of incidence. How much is this angle? I plus theta. I plus theta. Okay. Now the reflected ray also should rotate. Now the reflected ray will get rotated. Now the reflected ray will get rotated by some angle. The reflected ray previously it was here. The reflected ray previously it was here. Now it will get rotated by some angle. Okay. Now what is the angle of reflection in the new case? This is the angle of reflection. This is the angle of reflection. So this angle should also be equal. This is called as angle of reflection. This is called as angle of reflection. Okay. Which must be equal to I plus theta. Which must be equal to I plus theta. Why? Because here the angle of incidence is equal to I plus theta. No? So therefore this also should be equal to I plus theta. Because why? Angle of incidence must be equal to angle of reflection. Because this is the new position of the mirror. Now what is this angle? Okay. Now what is this angle? Actually now this is the previous position of the reflected ray, and now this is the new position of the reflected ray. Now this is the angle by which the reflected ray gets rotated. Let us say this angle is some x. Let us say this angle is some x. Okay. Now students, now here you can see that this total angle is equal to how much, students? This total angle is equal to r. This total angle is equal to r, and this is nothing but theta. So therefore out of this r, if I subtract this theta, then this will be how much, students? R minus theta. Okay. Now what is this total angle? This plus this. So this is how much? R minus theta. This is how much? X. So this is r minus theta plus x. Okay. This r minus theta plus x must be equal to this one, which is equal to how much, students? I plus theta. I plus theta. So, and we know that angle of incidence and angle of reflection are nothing but same according to law of reflection. So I can write here as I minus theta plus x is equal to I plus theta. Now I gets cancelled. So x is equal to theta plus theta, that is equal to 2 theta. So therefore our answer is what, students? Whenever we keep the incident ray fixed, and if we rotate the mirror by an angle theta, then the reflected ray will rotate by an angle of 2 theta. The reflected ray will rotate by an angle of 2 theta. And that too in which direction? In whichever direction the mirror is rotated, in that direction the reflected ray will rotate by an angle of 2 theta. Here the mirror is rotated by in clockwise direction, so therefore the reflected ray also will rotate by an angle of 2 theta in clockwise direction. Suppose if you rotate in anti-clockwise direction, then the reflected ray also will rotate by in anti-clockwise direction only with the same magnitude, 2 theta. So therefore this is very, very important, students, that whenever we rotate a mirror by an angle theta, the reflected ray will rotate by an angle 2 theta. So therefore, students, let us stop for today's session. That in this session we have learned 2 important topics as far as solving the problems is considered. That is deviation, and second one is the rotation of mirror. Okay. Thank you very much.